Welcome to Insights into Insurance from the A-Team at Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's another Saturday morning. That means it's time for Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance here on KATE. And joining me this week, Tom Sorensen back in the seat again. Good morning to you, Tom.
Good morning, Mike. Back in the seat again. Suzanne did a terrific job in this seat last week.
She had some fun, and we still didn't get the Green Bay Packer tickets from Rich.
Yeah, well, good. I didn't want Green Bay Packer tickets. He can keep his Green Bay Packer tickets. But
all right,
anyway, yeah.
Hot topic this week is going to be cyber attack prevention. And a lot of folks, I'm sure, are aware of cyber attacks, but we're going to dive into it a little bit more.
Yeah, Mike, it's huge. Cyber crime damage costs to hit $6 trillion by 2021. It's going to be considered the greatest transfer of wealth in history. This is stats from the company called CSO, which is a security company that tracks these items. Cybersecurity spending is going to exceed $1 trillion by 2021. Currently, it's at $86.4 billion for the cybersecurity spending, which is for prevention, things like that, or things that happen afterwards.
Afterwards is another one.
Right. And then cyber crime jobs will triple, which is projected to be 3.5 million jobs by 2021. So if you want to, if you're at that age where you probably are looking for a different job now, Mike, huh?
I'm past that stage. That stage.
But I want to introduce somebody that I have known for a while now, and he is the president and CEO of Pantheon Computers, who is based out of Waseca. And they operate in Albert Lea in the territory and many other areas around here. And I'll introduce John Stegman. Hi, John.
Hey, Tom. Thanks for having me this morning.
You bet. Happy Saturday to you. Give me a brief explanation of Pantheon Computers. Just a brief.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been around for 20+ years, and we started out just doing the PC thing of making sure the hardware computers work. But as you've already teed up, we're talking about cybersecurity, and there's so much in that space that our organization really focuses on making sure that our clients are safe with all the types of different transactions they do, and cybersecurity is a really big component of that today.
What are you seeing happening for cyber attacks, John?
Well, we have a variety of angles from that. Sometimes we have prospects that are in trouble because they haven't put so many measures in place. On the other side, we do a lot with our security group inside of our business to watch out for our clients. And so we're seeing a lot of things on the back end of where people are getting denial of service attacks, or we're getting encryption, or we're getting phishing emails, those types of things. But we're not seeing as much of the damages when people really take those preventative measures and get in front of it.
Right. And then the other big one, too, is I hear it all the time, is ransom cyber.
Ransomware is a big deal, right? And that's where somebody puts something on your computer or your network, and it locks up your computer. It encrypts your computer, and they have the encryption key. You can't use it until you unencrypt it somehow. So there's a couple ways that we should be talking about here coming up, what you can do about that.
Right.
Tom, the other interesting thing that I see really happening in this space is the fear. We have two sides of this. We either have fear or we have ignorance about this. And I'm glad we're doing this show today, because really it's about education.
Yep.
That's how we take care of that and talk about getting those two extremes into kind of the middle space where people can actually get their arms around it and understand it.
Yeah, you'd rather be proactive, John, than the reactive end of it, because after the reactive, if you're not proactive, the outcome can be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, Tom was sharing with us some of the stats about cyber crimes, and we know that almost 95% of business that gets hit with severe ransomware go out of business. There just isn't a recovery if you don't have the right plan in place to get your information back or to get to your information after it's been taken.
A business like ours, or many businesses that have client information, okay, or even like we've had targets hit, things like that. The cost to that, and you were just talking about that, it can be huge. It can be, for a business like mine, truly, it can actually get up into the hundreds, if not to the $1 million worth of issues because of compliance. What we got to do to alert our clients, and what we got to do to prevention and compliance after that. The compliance is huge, right, John?
Yeah, we may be just jumping right into the gun, but what I'm talking about, there's three main parts of this, and there you have the recovery side of it. What is it going to take to recover from an incident? And then we've got the preventative stuff, which is on the far left of the scale. What can we do to get in front of this thing to block people? But right in the middle, we've got this detection phase where it's like we may not have blocked it, and it came in. We have to detect that it's there before it unloads its payload and gives us a big problem later. So we've really got three phases of cyber protection around handling these things for our clients.
We're talking with John Stegman, the president, CEO of Pantheon Computers, with a location in Albert Lea and, of course, in Waseca. And John, on the national side of things, that's always been the hot topic with the president and the Russia interfering with the elections. We'll bring it back down on the local side of things. People say, well, yeah, that's just on the national level. But there's a lot of stuff happening on the local level that people, as you mentioned, that fear and maybe ignorance, that you have to come to the forefront and realize that it's not only happening on the national level, it's happening right here in our backyard.
You bet, Mike. Absolutely.
Yeah, we've actually have had clients that have had these issues where it's been either a phishing or a ransomware situation, and we do offer insurance, and that's why we're having it on in Insights into Insurance radio show today, is that this is actually something that we can look at covering on the insurance, and John knows that, but the issue is to be able to have this insurance. That's not just having insurance doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. And so also too, there you got to for you to acquire this type of insurance, you got to have certain things in place before they're going to add this endorsement onto you. It's normally commercial policies. Okay, is where we see it to be able to add this onto. I have it, on our insurance, but. The best insurance that I can have right now is the products that we have through Pantheon that we have done and purchased, and I can just tell you, just speaking as a customer with Pantheon, they do a tremendous job for us, and we just enjoy our business relationship with them. So
we're going to talk a little bit more about kind of going through what the products that the clients have for cyber attacks, and John kind of walk us through. But let's take our first break, Tom.
Sounds great, Mike.
When we come back, we're going to visit more with the president, CEO of Pantheon Computers, John Stegman, on our Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance. We'll be back right after this.
You got a side that wants more space, 'cause every day starts like a race. You got a side that loves that style, but to fit in those shoes gonna take a while. Today life's got you running, tomorrow big things are coming. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
To learn more about how Nationwide can help protect your many sides, call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells.
Welcome back to our Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance with Americana Insurance. Tom Sorensen is with us here in the studio. Mike White is your host. And along with a professional, by no means, he knows what he's talking about. That's the president and CEO of Pantheon Computers, John Stegman. And Tom, as we were going into the break, there's three areas that we really want to talk here on this next segment.
Yeah, there's the first I think John was talking about preventative. So, John, what do you offer your clients like us as far as prevention?
Tom, there's so many places to make sure that we're having prevention go on. There's a lot of technical solutions. Most people have firewalls. We have to make sure firewalls are up to date and blocking those hackers that are trying to knock down your door and get into your information. You've got spam filtering. A lot of people have different levels of spam filtering. We just want to get the spam out of there. And some of the spam is just wasting your time, but other stuff of that is bringing in viruses, malware. Some of it's the phishing, that if you click on this, you may go somewhere that you don't want to go and then have this payload of a malware come into your computer after clicking. There's also this, what we call DNS filtration. So when you click on something, it's like content filtering. If you click on it, the bad thing that you weren't supposed to click on, it prevents you from taking on that information. It blocks the site and says, this is a bad site. So there's a lot of places in the protection space. But the other topic in there is the human element. We've got the social engineering side of things that our users can just be smarter about how they use their computer and not so, as we talked about, ignorance before, kind of ignorant, and so they just think it won't happen to me. And yet they need to be educated on, these are what some of these things look like when you get this phone call asking to verify something on your bank account, or you get this email that says you've got a FedEx package coming, just click here to verify its delivery, and you never did order something.
Right.
These are the education pieces, too.
Yeah, and just so that our listeners, what he's saying is we do this, okay? We subscribe with Pantheon, and what they do is they actually send out training videos, and then we have to watch these videos of prevention so that our employees, I guess what you would say, aren't ignorant to what could happen or what comes in. And then also, what else do you do, John? I think you try to test us, right?
Right, so then we send out our own little phishing emails or our pseudo-phishing emails to see if you'll go ahead and click on that. We can, log the statistics on how often somebody may click on that. So like Tom's talking about, we'll send out that video, training you on that topic. A couple of weeks over time, we'll send a couple of emails related to that training to see if we really got that message through. And then what Tom can do is see those statistics and see if his staff is getting those videos and understanding them, or if there's room for more training involved in that.
And that's on
then we move on to the next.
And that's on the commercial side, John. I'm thinking of all those folks that are walking around with their smartphones, and they get something that pops up and says your smartphone's been attacked. You need to download this to save it. That's just another side of it not on the commercial side, but on the residential
personal side. Yep. So then, John, how about detection? Where is your? So what is your? What I want to say? How do you help that situation?
Right. So what we've got set up for a lot of our clients, including Tom's business, is the detection tools that sit on the back end of our network. We're watching all the traffic basically in log format, and through very complicated algorithms and artificial intelligence, we're trying to go through those logs with software and understand some of the behaviors that a cyber criminal would be using to hack into your system. And so if we see an entry of a log that says the administrator tried to log on 3 times in a row and then waited an hour and tried to do it again, we might be seeing some patterns, or there may be a password change on an administrator password. We'd want to know some combinations there. So we have log detection software that's going to look through the logs of things that are changing on your network and look at them through kind of an artificial intelligence lens to say, that might be a cybercrime type thing going on, or a cyber attacker trying to assemble the right information to build their case to attack you. And then we'll get a notification. Our security operations center figures this out, lets the technical team of our operations look into that, and then we investigate. We see if that's really what's going on. And if we can find out that that's going on ahead of time, we can stop it generally.
Right. Yeah.
And at least we would have the insight to know what's happening, so if it did have to unleash whatever it's doing, we are ready to go then.
And that, I can tell you, it makes me sleep easier at night knowing that this is happening behind the scenes for me. As you can tell, John's talking about a lot of things that I don't even know what the heck he's saying. Okay.
And that's why you go.
And that's why I go to the professionals that do. So, yep. So how about the recovery portion of it, John?
Well, inevitably, Tom, it's going to be a matter of when, not if, somebody gets attacked. It's just the reality. There's too much garbage out there, and it changes way too fast. And so it's a serious part of the conversation. What do we do about recovery? There's a couple of key pieces that we can be in that space. That detection piece is interesting because if we know the logs, and we still can't prevent it, but we know what happened, at least we know through the detection what happened. So as you said, sometimes through a compliancy, a regulated industry such as your own or banking, into the medical profession, you'll have to let your clients know what happened. And sometimes what happened isn't that big a deal. A hacker got in, took a peek around, and left. They didn't steal anything. Through our logging software, we can tell that. So part of the recovery is I can let my clients know that this happened, nothing was sent out, none of their credit card information, none of their health information, whatever it is, it wasn't released. So they can have some peace of mind that we know what happened and it didn't, and nothing serious happened. Or maybe something did, and we'll know that, and as to talk about watching identity theft at that rate, those are pieces.
Yeah, and if we have a recovery situation, I sure want you guys to help me out instead of me trying to do it myself.
Fiddle through it.
Yeah, so
that's why we have the professionals.
Right,
John Stegman, the president and CEO of Pantheon Computers, Tom Sorensen with Americana Insurance. John, if they want to get a conversation started with you and your company, what's the number to give you a call at?
Oh, absolutely. 866-835-2212. Look us up on the web, Pantheon Computers. We'll be your number one hit, and we can have a conversation.
866-835-2212. That's the number for a professional that'll help you be proactive, not reactive, when we're talking cyber attacks. We could have an hour program on this, Tom, because it's a hot topic.
Yeah, I bet you John could probably do a whole day seminar on this. So, and also, Mike, if they would like to contact me or our agency and discuss any of these commercial businesses, discuss about cyber attack coverage, our phone number is 507-377-2000. They can email me any questions at insights@americanainsurance.com. Our website is americanainsurance.com. And then lastly, Facebook. Check us out on Facebook. Give us a like. We put a lot of information out there.
All right. John, on this Saturday, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us about cyber attack. Again, the number for Pantheon, 866-835-2212, or you can give Tom a call at Americana Insurance at 377-2000. John, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, everyone.
Such good information.
And that'll wrap up our Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance here on 1450 KATE.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from the Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.